Have you ever stared at your bucket list late at night? The novel you want to write? The instrument you want to learn? The side hustle you want to launch? The fitness plan you want to start? Feeling a surge of excitement yet being pinned down by a stronger force? That force whispers a million, just waits in your ear. Wait until I buy professional gear to start. Wait until I finish reading 10 self-help books to start. Wait until I have a whole week of uninterrupted time to start. Wait until I'm in a better mood, until inspiration hits full swing. So we become the best preparers in our own lives, and the quietest action cowards. We collect a full set of paintbrushes, but never create a single painting. We research every running shoe review, but never run a single kilometer. We get thrilled by future possibilities, yet freeze up at present actions. If you find yourself stuck in this cycle of prepare and wait, like an athlete who's always warming up but never steps onto the starting line, then today, I want to have a heart-to-heart talk with you, because what's stopping you from starting isn't laziness, lack of resources, or even insufficient ability. It's an extremely subtle and hidden psychological defense mechanism called perfectionism paralysis. It wears the glamorous cloak of striving for excellence, but at its core is a deep fear of showing imperfection. It makes you believe that unless you're 100% ready, you're better off doing nothing at all. Yet the truth of life is exactly the opposite. In the realm of creation and growth, being foolproof is never a prerequisite for starting. It's just an elegant excuse for never starting. I used to be a chronic sufferer of perfectionism paralysis. I dreamed of writing, but I thought I had to wait until my writing was as elegant as a published author's, until my thoughts were as profound as a philosopher's, before I could pick up the pen. As a result, I accumulated hundreds of gigabytes of writing materials, copied countless quotes from literary masters, and studied every writing genre, but my document remained blank, except for a title. That absurd feeling of having all the tools to be a writer, except actually being a writer, gnawed at me day and night. The turning point came from a single sentence by a creative mentor. He said, "Creation isn't childbirth. You don't have to wait until the baby is fully formed to give birth. Creation is more like sculpting. You just need to find a block of stone first. Then start chiseling. The shape emerges in the process of chiseling." That sentence hit me like a bolt of lightning. I suddenly realized that I'd been waiting for a perfect finished product to fall from the sky, while I only needed to claim the glory. But every achievement in the real world is born from chaos, revisions, discarded drafts, and clumsy attempts. What I feared wasn't not being good enough. It was being seen while I'm not good enough. When we dissect perfectionism paralysis, we'll find it's driven by 3 tightly interlocking gears of fear. The first gear is the distorted definition of failure. We see failure as a fixed, permanent label that defines our worth as a person. A single imperfect attempt equals, "I am a failure." So to avoid this terrifying label, we choose never to try at all. But here's the huge cognitive fallacy. In the dynamic process of growth, the only real failure is never starting. Those imperfect attempts aren't failures. They're data feedback, the most valuable foundation for you to adjust your direction and refine your strategy. The second gear is the over-amplification of others' opinions. We have an imaginary audience in our heads, filled with harsh judges. We're afraid to take action because we fear our clumsy first attempt will become a laughingstock once the spotlight turns on. But the cruel yet gentle truth is, you don't have that many spectators. Most people are too busy dealing with their own imperfection dilemmas to care about your humble beginnings. Even if there are a few comments, they're like the weather. They come and they go. Tying the value of your attempt to others' fleeting opinions is like handing over the steering wheel of your life to a stranger on the street. The third and most core gear is the defense of self-perception. Subconsciously, we weave a narrative about ourselves being full of untapped potential. I just haven't started yet, but once I do, I'll blow everyone away. This potential self is dazzling and flawless, but once we take action, the real self, clumsy, error-prone, slow, moving, will be exposed. This shatters that beautiful narrative, forcing us to face the truth that I might just be an ordinary person. So we protect the state of not starting like a fragile dream. We use never unveiling the curtain to maintain the illusion of what could have been brilliant. Once we see through this elaborate paralysis system, we can find the key to unlock it. The key isn't becoming braver, it's redefining what it means to start. You need a strategy to trick your brain's overprotective fear system. I call this strategy the micro-action launch method. Strategy 1. Chase the crappy first draft and embrace the philosophy of completion over perfection. This is the most sacred rule for all creative people. Force yourself to accept this. Your first attempt can and must be a total mess, writing an article. The goal of your first draft isn't to be eloquent. It's to dump all your thoughts onto the page, like taking out the trash. Designing something, the goal of your first version isn't to be beautiful. It's to slap all the elements down roughly. Learning a skill, the goal of your first practice session isn't to be smooth and graceful. It's to get through the entire process, even if it's bumpy and awkward. Completion is a powerful psychological trigger. It shifts you from judgment mode, am I doing this well? To improvement mode, how can I make this better? A 60-point finished product is infinitely more valuable than a 100-point fantasy, because the former is a real iterable asset, while the latter is a ghost that drains your energy. Strategy 2, break it down to ridiculously small and use the 5-minute start method. Our brains are wired to resist huge, vague tasks. Your task isn't writing a book. That's a monster that scares everyone away. Your task is opening the document today and writing 50 words about the protagonist's appearance. It's not getting fit. That's a foggy abyss. Your task is putting on workout clothes and going for a 5-minute walk downstairs. It's not mastering English. That's a towering mountain. Your task is using this app to learn 5 new words and make sentences with them today. Shrink your goal to absurdly simple. So simple that you think, it would be ridiculous not to do this. The magic of this method is that it bypasses your brain's fear filter. Your brain won't sound the alarm for writing 50 words. And once you start those 5 minutes, those 50 words, you've already broken the curse of stagnation. Action creates momentum. More often than not, you'll naturally keep going. Even if you only do it for 5 minutes, you've won. You've broken the cycle of always zero. Strategy 3, seek early feedback, proactively, and embrace imperfect public exposure. Instead of polishing a supposedly perfect work in secret and then publishing it with trembling hands, take the initiative to show your messy start to 1 or 2 trusted, kind-hearted friends early on. Tell them, look, this is my first draft. It's a mess, but I need your advice. What do you think has the most potential? This does 2 revolutionary things for you. First, it instantly lifts the heavy burden of having to be perfect. By declaring it trash up front, you create a safe space to show your flaws. Second, you gain valuable input from an outside perspective. Your blind spots will be illuminated. You might find that the details you've been obsessing over don't matter to anyone, while the core elements you've ignored are what others value most. Growth happens when your imperfect work collides with the real world, not in your lonely fantasy of perfection. Believe this. Almost every masterpiece in the world started as a chaotic mess no one wanted to see. That novel that touched your soul, its first draft was probably poorly structured and full of awkward sentences. That painting that made you stop in your tracks, its underlayers are filled with countless failed lines. That skill you envy others for mastering, it's built on thousands of hours of clumsy, frustrating practice. Preparation is necessary, but its end goal must be action. Otherwise, preparation becomes a sophisticated form of procrastination. A river doesn't flow only after all obstacles are removed. It shapes its own course and smooths the stones along the way as it flows. So my invitation to you is ridiculously simple. Today, pick that one thing you've been thinking about for the longest time. The one that makes you both love and fear it. Then, don't think about doing it well. Don't even think about finishing it. Just ask yourself one question. If I only allowed myself 5 minutes to make the crappiest start possible, what would that look like? Then do it. Write that first paragraph that doesn't make sense. Play that first stumbling music phrase. Draw that first wobbly line. Send that collaboration message that might get no response. After you do it, if you're willing, come to the comments section and write your messy start declaration. The format can be, today, I started your project. I only did your tiny action, and it looks describe its imperfection, but I started. For example, today I started my vlog channel. I only recorded a 30-second self-introduction, and the camera was shaky and my voice was trembling, but I started. Or, today, I started my reading plan. I only read 5 pages, and I was distracted a lot, but I started. Let's build a warm pool of encouragement with our imperfect starts. Here, there's no mockery, only respect. Because we all know how great a leap it is to go from thinking to doing. Give this video a like to let it reach more friends who are waiting for being ready. Subscribe to this channel. Together, we'll turn more I want to into I did. The world doesn't reward those who plan the most perfectly. It rewards those who keep doing the longest. Your masterpiece, your transformative life, isn't in a perfect plan. It's in that messy start you had the courage to make. Now, go make your messy start. I'll be here waiting to cheer for you.